Hey, I know, like, you know where I'm at, like, hey, Jeff, no, I got you, brody. Look, hey, let's go, hey. Real life, real talk, never fall, we ain't doing that. Want me fall off, but I can't, I'm just too attached. I was so lost, I ain't going back. Never fall, never fall. We on the road, yeah, we on the road. Every day like the Olympics gon' go. Yeah. I'm in control, I thought you should know. Real life, real talk, never fall.
Hey guys, what's up? We're back. It's been a while. I apologize, but it's all good because we're back now and we're rolling. So we got Harry, we got Denver, and we got Shay. So it's a cool group tonight. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got like months of stuff to talk about. So we're obviously not going to get through it all, but hey, we'll get through what we can. So we're going to start off. Shay, you're not usually on with us, but you've got a show in 3.5 weeks. So talk to me about it. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about how you're looking? How are you feeling mentally? You know, excited, nervous? Give us some insight. People want to know.
Well, I feel great, to be honest. I feel the best that I've ever looked, that's for sure. I'm not irritable, I'm not angry, I'm not all the things that I usually would be. Shut up, Jordan, I'm not. No, I feel pretty good. I'm excited this time around. The nerves are starting to kick in a little bit, that's for sure. But I mean, the work's being done. It's the fun part now. Just write out the next 3.5 weeks and just get into it. But no, I actually feel really, really good. Starting to exit the chat and the whole energy department, but it is what it is. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm ready to go.
That's good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, you look amazing, Shay.
Thank you.
What do you think your stage weight will be compared to your last show? I mean, your conditioning's off the hook, and you're going to be so shredded come showtime with another 3.5 weeks to go. But what do you think the difference will be in your stage weight? Because you look so much fuller. Like,
I'm heavier.
With your development.
Yeah, I'm heavier, but only just. Like, I got on stage at 57 last year, and I'm sitting at 59 at the moment. So at the same stage like last year, I think I was sitting quite close to that 57. I didn't come down too much in the last like 3 or so weeks, but definitely I'm heavier and fuller. I probably by this stage last year started to string out a little bit. Got a little bit too low, and it wasn't as full. So definitely, I think we'll be heavier probably on stage this year, but just a different.
Not that it really matters, because I mean, it's composition, right? You look like there's a lot more of you. Do you know what I mean? So that's good. Well done. You're killing it.
Yeah, no, good as gold, eh?
Bro.
When you competed, I know a lot of these answers, but I think people will be interested. When you competed last year at this point, look aside, did you feel like mentally? Did you feel similar in terms of like energy, in terms of just mindset, blah blah blah, or is it different?
Oh, it's way different. I think I'm way more calm this year, because I know what I'm in for. I'm also eating a lot more food than I was at this stage last year. Just everything's different. I think I'm a lot more relaxed about the fact that I've done it and I'm choosing to do it, so I'm just going to enjoy it.
I like that.
But yeah, I think this time last year was a bit of an asshole. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Sweet. The other person, but they don't care about me and you, Harry. That's what I've realized. Probably because
I've never cared about me, bro.
I talk too much shit, and you're ancient, so we're like, we don't matter. Yeah. But Denver, there was a few questions about you. So rather than do it the Q&A, we'll do it now because we're in that kind of we're just talking about that. People want to know what you weigh, what your current goal is, and when you're going to compete.
But basically, Denver, they want to know all of the questions I asked you when I first saw you in Auckland. How much do you weigh, bro? What show are you doing?
What I weigh?
What do you weigh? What's your current, like, what are you doing currently? Like, where you're at, what phase you at, and when you're going to compete?
I am, at the moment, I am probably the lightest I've been in a very long time. I'll talk to you all about this before, but like, I don't know. One thing that's different this time is that I feel like I'm a lot denser, I'm a lot tighter, So I still have that same volume to my muscle that I did at a much heavier weight. Whereas now I feel like I'll have a lot less to drop to get to my stage weight compared to before. So I'm sitting about 122 at the moment. But the leanest by far the leanest by far that I've been. Again, I'm talking about standards that I need to be at an open pro. I'm really compare myself to.
I agree. You're light, very light.
Like I know where I need to be and what I need to be at stage weight. So I was like, I still got a long way to go. So, but that's my stage.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
How heavy? What is your heavy? What's your max? What have you peaked at, like weight wise?
I've been over 130, and for my height, that's quite a bit. I personally feel like, even with my coach last week, we spoke about it, and I feel like I don't need to go there.
Yeah.
For the look that I want to bring in my physique, I don't want to sacrifice like my shape just for bulk. I'd rather keep my waist smaller. So I'm happy if I can get like between 115 to 118 on stage. I think that'll be a very nice look. Personally, for me anyway. I like that look in bodybuilding, whereas I feel like if I push the numbers, not that it's easy to push the numbers, but if I just chase size, like raw size, just for the sake of it, I feel like I lose what I love about bodybuilding there, and I'll end up I might get into the 120s on stage, but not the look that I'd want to bring.
I like how it's saying, like, you're talking like 115 to 118 is like the smaller, more aesthetic look, the small. But I know what you're saying. It's open pro bodybuilding. It's just
I missed a bit. The heaviest I've been in my off season would probably be
wasn't it 295?
32, 33. Yeah.
295, was when you were working with Matt.
Yeah. Almost hit 300 pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't want to go back there.
I think I was the same weight at the same time, just a lot taller and probably fatter. I remember it was Dave Lumbo was helping me, and Matt Porter was
we had this conversation, right, Denver, at the contest where, and I think a lot of people, I guess, back to the podcast, a lot of people get they lose sight of the fact that you got to play your strengths. And, as the conversation we were having is that you have that ridiculously tiny waist when you're in shape, and then all your muscles just flow off small joints. And I actually couldn't get over how lean you were for the size you are. And I guess that it's an eye opener, you know what I mean? Like to see somebody who's carrying around that much quality conditioned muscle. So yeah, I mean, with that whole idea, I think people lose sight of the play your strength, and and as much as it seems redundant to the rest of us to look at you and go, oh yeah, so he's an aesthetic, he's got to play the aesthetic game and not try to. There's no point trying to outmass Nick, one of those big guys like a Nick Walker or one of those dudes. No, you've got to kind of rely on the fact that your physique, when it's really in shape, has a really impressive pop to it because of that tiny waist and and all those other factors. So it makes a lot of sense. It's probably a good lesson for a lot of people as well to keep in mind when they're looking at their own bodybuilding, right?
Yeah. I feel like I made that mistake as well early on. Is just like chasing numbers on the scale. It's just like right now, even if I keep coming back to the same weight every time, like by the end of my off season, like right now I'm going to go through a little bit of a cruise, which I'll tidy up, pull the calories down a little bit. And then when we push again, we'll probably come back to 122, 124, that sort of mark. But every time we come back, I want to be denser, harder.
Amazing.
When I diet down, I'm dropping less and less weight to make my stage weight kind of thing, rather than having to push the numbers too high and then having to drop all this unnecessary war,
I think I was having a conversation with a young guy today, or was yesterday. And I like that, what you're saying, but also you got to keep in mind that you're already fucking huge.
Yeah, we
guys that are like 20.
I mean, if you're young,
these skinny guys that are like 20, and this guy was like telling me how like he wants to be a monster, and he's like, oh, I want to push to this, but I don't want to get to. I'm like, motherfucker, you need to grow, bro. Like, don't get so caught up on like, oh, I want to see abs, so when I diet down, it's not like you're not going to get huge if you're just staying ripped all the time. When they're little, when they're smul.
Yeah, exactly.
They got
starting out, I feel like you need to put on a bit of body fat and feed.
You just got to I think there's a point in everyone's career where you've got to fucking send it. And I'm not saying get sloppy and fat as fuck, but you got to embrace that shit. And then when you get a bit bigger, that's when. And also, I think you get to a point too that like you're probably there, Denver. Like for you to actually get fat, you would have to try. Like you wouldn't like if you as long as you're not eating like burgers and shit every day, like you would have to really try. Like when you got that much muscle, it's hard to put on. I mean, you got to eat so many calories just to maintain your weight as is. Like, what did you tell me? I
It's
mean,
a lot easier
7,000
as well.
calories. Did you tell me
Was
it was
that?
7,000 calories or some shit at the end
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
Exactly. Like people can't eat 5,000.
From clean food, that's
That's a lot.
It's a lot
fun
of food.
time.
That's a lot. The most I've ever had a client on was 8.5. That's one
Yeah.
person.
Was it Shay?
She wishes. Not
Fuck
quite.
that. I'd tap out.
Thanks, Shay. I think
I'm
Shay
at
would
that point
be the
now.
highest
I
I got
need
a
to
female. But and when are you gonna compete?
next year. Definitely 100% next year. It has to be done. I'm getting on stage next year, one way or the other. How many
Whereabouts?
shows I'll do, I'm not too sure. Like, I definitely want to do something in the States. I feel like that's where, I mean, if you're going to make it in open bodybuilding, you got to prove yourself there. And like, if it means jumping in the deep end, I'm going to do it, you know?
You just got to
That's
experience
probably-
it, bro. Regardless.
Exactly, you know? And then like,
pro.
so I'll definitely want to do something in the States. And then depending on what the calendar shows later in the year, if there's something that lines up that isn't going to be too much of an issue to travel and get there and stuff like that, I'm definitely open to that as well. Like, I want to try and I've had a few years off now, more than a few years off, just lockdown, all that shit. So I feel like I like my body's ready to do a few shows. So even if it means doing 3 or 4 shows, I'm excited for it. Yeah.
So he's 122 kilo, huge. He's going to compete next year. He's going to do 4 shows. There we go. He's going to weigh 118 kilo on stage. There you go, guys. You got your answers. Anyway, guys, moving on. We'll do a little bit of like a recap for what we saw in New Zealand this year. I think we should probably just stick to the nationals because you guys all watched it. I was there as an athlete, so we can get like your guys' views or kind of your opinions on what you saw, how you felt about what you saw, what you'd like to see moving forward. And I can kind of give a little bit of feedback about as a competitor, which is going to be a little bit different to what you guys say. So if you can remember the show, take the mic. One of you start talking. Go on, Shay.
Harry, you're up.
You go, Shay.
Well, I couldn't see a hell of a lot, unfortunately. I was like on the stage, so
The trophy girl.
couldn't see too much, but I thought it was a pretty sweet show. Like, it was nice to see the caliber of athletes that were in each category. I think it's pretty competitive across the board. And to see the numbers that were filtering through, especially I'll talk about the women's categories because that's my jam. Just to see the class sizes, and especially for figure, there was probably one of the biggest numbers on stage and some of the best probably athletes that we've seen for the last few years. I think, you know, it always can be better and it always can be more competitive, but it's really good to see that there are as many athletes that are kind of coming through nationals that were at naturals and then did the nationals in the afternoon as well. So I thought it was a really well run show with how many athletes there were as well. But yeah, I think it was pretty good.
Figure was solid, I thought. Like,
yeah,
compare, like, not because it wasn't just one person that like was good, and you know, so a lot of times like that, but it was quite competitive. I'm not saying that the whole class was competitive, but there was a few girls who were like really good in really good condition, and that's cool to see. I really like that class. I find it quite enjoyable to watch, enjoyable to coach. So yeah, that's cool. Honestly.
Yeah. I think there was like, it wasn't just like there was standouts. The pros were standouts, but it was still like they had to work them a bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one was given like you win. They had to work for their placings, which is what you want to see. I mean, it's cool to see someone that totally stands out because they're usually real freaky, and that's what we like to watch. But I like to see a battle. Like, there's nothing better than a battle, and you're like, "Fuck, they've got it." Oh, nah, they've got it. But then, yeah, I don't know. That's what I like. So that's definitely.
Yeah, I felt like in every class there was some real, like the overall winners for the most part were very you know, the class winners and the overall winners for the most part were really good. Like the I feel like that lady that won the overall bikini, her conditioning was and her muscularity was exceptional. And then across the board, but the whole, you know, as you guys are saying, across the class, it wasn't. I mean, it was very competitive how good everyone was, and having not been to a show in New Zealand for quite some time, I was really impressed with the overall standard and professionalism of and presentation of the athletes. So I just thought, you know, gone are the days when I'm watching a show and it's like they didn't get their tans right. You know, the majority aren't in shape. It was a great turnout. I thought the standard was really high. And across the board, like there was some super exceptional conditioning, conditioned people. I guess the girl that won the overall bikini again just jumps to mind because her conditioning was crazy. And then you know, the girl that won figure, Nikayla, I mean, that conditioning is just top to bottom, front to back, pretty crazy. I mean, but I still felt like that was quite a close contest with the girl that came second. Linda, really nice shape, beautiful presentation, and that conditioning in her upper body was to match from the front, really matched, but then a little bit from the back. And then, you know, you've got the other runners who probably just weren't muscular enough. But yeah, I just thought the whole thing was really good. And then the boys' classes, I mean, sorry, the men's classes, it was just good to see some crazy solid conditioning. I mean, you know, if I were to think about what would I want to see more, I'd want to see more conditioning across everybody, you know, uniformly in the classes. Like, you know, you had the standouts, and then a good standard, but still, to me, it's like the conditioning isn't quite where it should be. You know what I mean? So I feel like Jordan, your conditioning was ridiculous. Cameron, crazy. Dean, nuts. And then through the rest of bodybuilding, it was good. Everyone was great, but I didn't think there was that real super crisp and dry sort of conditioning that you want to see for guys who are going to move to the next level, right? I had a conversation with a few of the different guys about that. So I feel like everyone's on the same page, but I think what happens is people need to see it. You know, I don't know how much feedback you got, Jordan, but I think quite a lot of the guys that got to stand that were in your class and stood next to you were like, okay, that's what I need to do conditioning wise. And I feel like across the board,
actually posted that a few of them. So
yeah, you know, and I think that's a really, really good thing because it's going to lift everybody's game. And I think the fact that Nikayla was so shredded, top to bottom, front to back, that people, but also muscular, and she had a good look. She wasn't too drawn, or you know, I feel like that changes people's expectations of what they need to do, and it's no longer going to be like, you know, they know they've got to aim high because somebody's going to come in that looks like that. I mean, you know, and that Dean, Jesus, dude wasn't just a freaky big monster. He was also shredded. So
Nikayla was actually harder and leaner in Waikato, but she got told she needed to soften up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was strided everywhere.
Everywhere.
I love that look, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I mean that's ironically. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, hurt anybody's feelings, but I actually felt like the girl that won the overall bikini was super muscular like that, which makes me look at the class and think, oh, how do I, if I'm prepping somebody for that class, how do I prep them if that's the look that wins an overall? Do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't have thought that is the exact criteria. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like a dick, but like she was so muscular and so lean, and I'm like, okay, she looked amazing, but I'm like, I don't know if that's, anyway, that's me.
I've always been a fan of her look, Rochelle's.
Yeah, I think she looks beautiful.
I know what you're saying. Because since I went to the States and I've seen the standard of the pros, you're 100% right. But also what I've realized is it's not always about the criteria. Often it's just about
what's on stage.
It's on stage. And sometimes, you know, just because someone's a bit muscular doesn't mean they're not worse. You know, I think she deserved to win personally.
Oh yeah, no, she was just absolute.
But I know what you're saying. And if you're too muscular in a pro lineup in the States, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna place well. I've seen it.
You know, like, no disrespect to her, I thought she was an absolute standout for those same reasons. Because not just that she was really muscular, she's also stunning presentation, a really beautiful look, very balanced. I thought she was amazing. I just like, how do I look at that across the board of the rest of the lineup? She was definitely the standout in that whole division. So yeah, that would just be the one thing, because I get confused, right? I watch those judging things that they put out, and I'm like, okay, how do you know what I mean? I look at that across all the classes as I'm trying to think about what criteria I'm trying to approach with athletes, and yeah, I would have yeah, that was just interesting to me.
Yeah, I think give a shout out to her and her coach Sheena, because she didn't win in Waikato.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks prior, she didn't win. I don't know where she came, but I know she didn't win, and then she came back and won nationals.
Oh,
So
She was very sharp for
She,
national.
her conditioning was like unbelievable. Actually, her whole look was unbelievable, and it makes. I mean, that's what Sheena was known for, right?
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely perfect.
So I'm sure she's getting. I mean, she's walked the walk a million times. So
Yeah. Well, I think it changes. It changes. So that changes what people will bring when they want to. You know, when they're thinking about what they need to do, it'll change what they bring next year.
I think it just shows you need to be conditioned.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I was so impressed with the conditioning, just in general, but some specific people. I was so impressed with the conditioning. Amazing.
For sure. What are you, Denver? What do you think? The show overall.
Awesome. Honestly, probably like the best nationals we've had in a few years, I'd say. I do feel like obviously having the one pro card at the end of the year, like it just brings way better, like a lot more competition to the show. Whereas I felt like last year kind of watered it down a little bit, not taken away from some like amazing athletes, but I just found like for just having that one person turn pro, I feel like is way better. You know, you've got that one guy that's kind of leveled up over the year, just a step in that little bit ahead of everyone else, kind of thing. So I found like with open bodybuilding especially, I found in the last few years it kind of died down a little bit. We didn't really have any sort of standard of athletes or even just enough competing, whereas this year I was so good to see like bodybuilding back, like in the scene, hyped as some, like, you know, you Dean, the rest of the boys as well, looking crazy on stage, bringing that freak factor back, you know, because it's always men's physique and classics always stacked, with numbers.
It was good to see some really good bodybuilders and a lot of real potential, I think, with guys, you know, just if they nail it. Just as what was his name? He won the 90s. He's got so much muscle as well, I think. If they just, you know, just nailing things, and things are going to be very, super competitive. It's going to be, I think that it bodes well for the future of bodybuilding, because I kind of get tired of seeing 7,000 other classes than 3 bodybuilders. And you know what I mean?
Exactly.
The other good thing about only one card is it doesn't water it down next year.
Yeah,
because if 3 people go pro this year,
exactly.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
But my favorite part of the show, and this is a little bit biased, but my favorite part was how many people were in the super heavies for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Because every year, for as long as I can remember, there's been like one person, and there was 6 of us, and there would have been 7, but Frank got sick. Like 6 people in the super heavies. I can't tell you the last time I saw that. And it was like it was a quality as well. Like it was a good class. And I think that I personally think that's awesome. So yeah, for me, the highlight of the show was the bodybuilding. 1, because I love it, but 2, just the numbers and the standard that was there.
Yeah.
Because that's the foundation. Like, I don't care what anyone says, that's the foundation of any show, is the male open bodybuilding. That's where it all started, and it's got so far away from that everywhere, not just here, everywhere. And I feel like this year it just came back out of nowhere. It just came back, and it was super competitive, and it was, but as an athlete as well, it was so much fun. Like, I'd never had that much fun on stage in my life. I had the time of my fucking life. Backstage,
I feel like in the next couple of years, some of those young boys that are in the supers are going to be monsters, because there's a lot of great frames there. They just got to get, just not big enough. Just got to get bigger.
They will, and it was just so much fun. Like, even backstage, it was just relaxed. Like, it was late. It didn't matter. It was just chilled. It was just a great, and I think they actually got a good props, because they ran that fucking well. It didn't start till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We were like kind of saying like, shit, we're gonna be here till midnight. I was on stage by 7:30, and then maybe 8:39, and I was out. So yeah, there were a lot of guys. I was gonna make an Instagram story. There were a lot of guys like posting up about how they missed their mark, and they, you know, and they were blaming the time, like the time that they were on stage. And I just kind of like, are you like, really, bro? Like, there was a bunch of people that didn't affect. And if you look at the photos that these people are posting every day leading up to the show, you kind of knew they were going to miss the mark, because they weren't on the mark to begin with. So this is not to have a fuck, or kind of is having a go, but I'm not meaning to have a go. Why I'm saying this is just be honest with yourself, and don't make excuses as to why you weren't in shape. Don't say, oh, you know, the show was late. Well, Dean was on, Cameron was on. I don't know.
Honestly, I reckon if you're in shape,
Doesn't
1 or
matter.
2 meals is not going to change shit.
Just keep eating. You can try
Yeah,
to
exactly. You're not gonna.
build,
Yeah,
and you get up there. Look, okay, it might affect you a little bit. You might flatten out a little bit, or you might ate a little bit too much, but you're still going to be there. So
And
you know,
everyone else is in the same position.
exactly. So just don't make fucking excuses and get leaner, and don't
It
post
didn't
so
feel,
much.
it didn't look like they rushed you guys through or rushed anyone through actually
No.
on stage. Like it didn't
Feel
look like no one had their time cut short, no one was ushered off, or like it
was-
looked pretty like
It was just
Sweet.
run really well. Even backstage, the guy, fuck, what's his name?
Mark DeLue.
Good job. Like it's all on the whiteboard. He's and even the other boys in Waikato. I can't remember their names. It's left me, but they were amazing. Like they were so organized, and you could ask them anything, and they were like, "Oh yeah, about 30 minutes, give or take." You know, like 30 minutes doesn't always mean 30 minutes, but it's like a rough indication. They were just really good. So, just as an athlete, there was no stress. It was just it was just great. Honestly, I can't say much more than that. But anyway, so we're all in agreement that it was a great year for New Zealand bodybuilding. Went better than I thought it would across the board. Not that I didn't think it would go well. I just I think it was a really positive leap. And then the show last week was really cool to go to. The two, oh, Shay, you were there. The two classic pros, the two guys from overseas, the first and second in the pros. Fuck, the guy that won, I swear, his physique on stage is like nothing I've ever seen. It was just, his waist was like that.
Nothing.
Looked fucking crazy. I saw him outside the show in clothes. He was so small. Like he was so, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, that can't be him. He was on stage. He was fucking enormous, dense, thick. It's just bodybuilding. Of course, if he took his shirt off, you'd be like, oh god. But I was just like, wow, he's so small. But on stage, he was so big. And that's another lesson. You don't, it's not all about size. Bodybuilding is about what you bring to the stage under the lights with the tan on. And
I think too many guys worry about this whole fullness factor. I've got to be full. I've got to be full. I've got to be full. And the truth is that you're better off to be a little bit flat but super dry than full as a bull but filmed over. You know what I mean? Because a little bit. I saw in a couple of guys. Just you're looking at them and you think, oh man, if this dude was just a little drier, everything would just pop. But it just doesn't, because they're they've obviously they just haven't managed their peaking as well as they could do. Yeah, so it's interesting, because I always used to think that if I saw a guy and he looked really massive walking around, I'd be like, oh, he's going to be okay. Doesn't matter, because you should look small. Your face should be shrunk. You should look like a little skull that you've got going on there, and you should just look like a little peanut. Those are the guys you got to worry about, because they're always peeled.
The shit comes off and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll do some critiques. So we're gonna do a we were doing the critique physique, but I wanted to do like the critique my stage physique, and then give a little bit of nothing too in depth, but just a little bit of if we're critiquing someone for something, maybe what we would recommend moving forward. Now I put this on the post, and I just want to say, you guys are asking for critique, so we're going to give you critique. This is not a back rub, and we don't mean to upset any coaches if we say the wrong thing. We're just trying to give our honest opinions. So a few people got upset last time because we said a few people weren't in condition or whatever, and that was our critique. That shouldn't upset you, because you probably agree. So you're just trying to help. We're here to help, not to offend. But anyway, moving on. I'll just set this okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Let me put that up. Okay, so I think we'll just like scroll down. Oh, I don't know. I can't. Oh, yeah. You guys are in my way. I'm gonna move you. Here we go. We'll do like 2 or 3, and then we'll save the rest, because there's going to be a lot. This is the bottom. Okay. 20 years old, classic, 71 to 72, and 5'10".
He's a ICN guy over here. He's mine. He's one of my clients.
Oh, he looks good.
Hmm.
Well, since it's Harry's guy, Denver, you can start.
Listen,
First off, I just got
18 months ago, he was a swimmer.
I just got to confirm. ICN is fully natural, yeah?
Natural, yeah.
Yeah.
First time. I was really happy with how he. I was really happy with how he wound up. You know, I mean, I have the conversations with him all the time. He knows what I think he needs to do.
Yeah, he already knows what you think, so we'll tell him what we think.
Yeah, you got some, yeah.
If this is his first show and natural as well, I think he looks real good, honestly.
He's only 20.
Like overall.
Indeed.
I feel like frame-wise balanced. I mean, I do feel like upper body is a lot leaner than the lower, but for a first show, we all know how hard it is to kind of get your legs in, especially like depending on what your starting point is. So I think it's just a matter of time, just slowly filling out his frame, like because he looks pretty balanced. I don't think he's kind of like bottom heavy or top heavy or anything like that. Sits really well. Is that classic as well that he's doing?
Yeah,
he did classic, yeah.
Yeah. So the good shape to him. So I think with time, just widen lats, a bit more meat to his quads. Overall, I don't think there's anything that's gonna that looks not balanced in his physique.
Yeah, I think he looks.
I think he's got real good potential there.
20 years old, like his conditioning is pretty good.
Must have a good coach.
Yeah, he should. He must. just the only critique I can give this guy is just put more muscle on everywhere, which you've probably told him exactly that.
Yeah.
And then okay, get leaner next time because obviously you can be a bit leaner, but that's just going to come with time. It's just time. There's nothing we can say that he won't already know. So I'm impressed.
Just I mean, all I've said to him is just get bigger, and then because he's only in the low 70s, he had 71 or something, I think he weighed. Just gets bigger
as well.
And then it enables, you know, I said the leaner you get, you know, the next show that you do probably won't be for a year or 2 years, and then he'll same again ICN, and he'll be bigger, and we'll have more room to move to get him leaner. We also need to do more posing.
Yeah, I mean his posing doesn't look bad either. Like to be honest, like for first show and 20 years old, I think.
Yes, I mean the main thing is he was very happy with it. Now we just got to get him big.
Could be.
Anyway, that's okay.
Okay, moving on. Okay, let's go to where are we? Craig Oliveira, 20 men's physique and classic physique, 86 kg on stage, 179 centimeters. Okay. Classic and men's physique, 86 kilo. Well, this is stage photos. Who's gonna start?
I'll start. I mean, he's got a good frame. He's broad. He's got some good shoulders on. He's got some good body parts. I mean, it's the same thing again, isn't it? He just needs to put on size. I mean, I would say a significant amount of size, but he just needs to put on size. He's not like, I think he's not seemingly not blessed with the smallest of waists comparative to the rest of his body. So you need like a lot of extra shoulder and back mass to bring that in, and then he's just got to fill out his arms and legs. I mean, he looks tall, but he's only 179, so he just needs to be bigger. Looks good. His conditioning's good. I guess the bigger he gets, the harder he'll be able to present, right?
Yeah, I would say he needs size. I also say I saw him compete on the weekend, and yeah, 100% needs to be more conditioned. Definitely, wasn't. I personally don't think he was lean enough. But again, it's just muscle's going to take time to come on. More muscle will result in more condition, but can definitely be. I can't remember this guy from nationals. He's not in the best photos. I'm just kind of going by what I saw last week, and yeah, if he was to ask me going by what I saw in real life, the main thing would be immediate thing would just be you need to be more conditioned, especially for someone who's not that big. If you're not that big, you need to be peeled. So yeah, leaner, harder, drier, and then over time just put muscle on. I don't think there's like an area where I'd be like, oh, you need that. I think the balance is kind of pretty good. It's just muscle everywhere. Just muscle everywhere.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Condition aside, forget about condition. I'm just talking about the rest. I mean, a few things that popped out to me when I first saw his pictures. Upper body wise, he needs a lot more size through his shoulders and arms. If you notice, even in his men's physique poses, shoulders and arms look really washed out. Go one more to there, like there, and even the one before that. Yeah, over there, you notice you can see a lot more chest, abs, and stuff like that, but arms and shoulders just there's no pop there, and I feel like that's just going to take time to add a bit more muscle on there. Lower body quads are actually not too bad, but if you notice in his classic poses, there's not a whole lot to the hamstring. So just again, time, a bit more density. Being slightly taller as well, I think he's going to have to put a decent amount more weight on there to fill things up.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do another one.
A real cool dude though, real nice dude, very supportive of everyone.
That's good.
So we need more guys like that.
For sure, 100%. We'll do two more. We'll do this guy, and then we'll do. I didn't read that. Sorry.
Okay, so this guy, I was sitting down eating, and he turns around and starts talking to me. He's like, Harry, and I'm like thinking, how do I know this guy? Turns out I don't. But we were talking, and then he goes, oh, you've got to roast me on the roast my physique when you do one of those critique my physique things. I'm like, really, bro? Are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want? But anyway, here we are.
He's 27, classic bodybuilding, 73 kilo. You're gonna get roasted because you're 73 kilo.
He's so little. Like, he was really short. Did he have his height on there?
No.
Bro, really? I mean, let's just not say he was little, he was really short. Let's say he was petite.
He was, well, I can say it's
actually a really cool guy. I did go through his photos because he asked me to, because he was saying that to me. He's actually got a really good physique. Everything's nice on him. Just needs bigger arms, really, for his frame. And I did say to him that I thought he looked more like a little bodybuilder than a classic physique guy, like you know what I mean, like a lighter weight bodybuilder than a classic physique.
Yeah, I'd say bodybuilder, and I'd say arms and also adductors. Like on these shots, that thigh gap, hate seeing that. So yeah, a bit more adductor, bit more quad sweep, bit more quad in general, I would say personally, and arms.
Yeah,
conditioning's pretty good. Obviously could be a bit sharper, but I mean,
got a nice physique.
But it's definitely not. I wouldn't be like, oh, you weren't lean enough. But there's definitely like to see the glutes and stuff. She could definitely be a little bit harder, but I'm talking like a matter of weeks, a few extra weeks of dieting, and you'll be there. So this is a nice package, man, for sure.
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
And
really, a very good.
I can't really roast you.
Yeah, it's got good torso density. You know what I mean? His chest and back for the size of him, very good. I feel like he's got roasted because he called him short. Shay called him short. You're such a bully, Shay.
No, it was actually so little.
So little is actually what he said. Yeah, Shay. Yeah. So little. This guy was so little. Yeah. I was hurt for him.
When he walked out, though, I don't know what regional show he did. I can't remember. But when he walked out, literally everyone in the crowd was like, holy shit. So that was the reaction as well, because he was like, he just commanded the stage. When he was saying he was little, he was short in comparison to who was standing next to him. I can say that because he was still taller than me.
Oh, he's very short. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he looked fantastic.
But he looks good. Yeah, good. Like,
yeah,
nice.
Really, really nice.
What do you reckon, Denver?
He's short, but he's a solid unit. I saw my nationals as well. Obviously, filled out a bit more food in there. A solid boy. I definitely agree with Harry. I wouldn't say so much classic, even though he does pull off a good like vacuum pose and stuff like that. But I do feel, I know that he's obviously going to put more tissue on, and with more tissue on in such a short frame, he's going to lose that look. He's just going to look thicker which will take him away from classics. So I definitely feel bodybuilding's the better route.
And I feel like this guy can get freaky as fuck, eh?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I reckon super freaky.
he
He's
just
just
looks
gonna
like
grow
he's
his
Exactly what
own
I
like
think.
a fucking absolute brick shit
like
house. in a
5
good way.
kgs on him is gonna look like him just because of his height, you know.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like 2-on-2 would probably be more the route for him.
Yeah.
What critique, honestly, for someone like watching him come out first time, bro, and at Waikato's, he was definitely one of the standout physiques. Definitely, I've got to say, like I hadn't seen him before, so I definitely feel like big up to him over there. Honestly, like in this pose, I feel like it didn't do him justice a little bit because I saw him from the front row, and his legs definitely do look bigger and better than that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just him not flexing it, or just not like an angle that doesn't make him look as big. I definitely feel like they were bigger, definitely. But I do like agree with Harry again. Arms would definitely need a lot more meat there because he's got a lot of meat in his back, chest, shoulders.
Does this guy look like a powerlifter or something?
It kind of looks like it. I mean,
Because he looks like it. He's got like dense thick muscle, and he's got like smaller arms. And he, you know, like like quite a lot of density in the like quads and stuff. And he kind of looks like he was like come from a powerlifting background.
You know, if you go to his page, I'll look at some of the lists and stuff like that. It looks like he did do some sort of powerlifting,
like deadlifting, squatting, doing all the cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave these here. We'll do the rest next time because fuck, we'll be here all night. Back to us because we do have a few questions. I don't want to get through them. Let me just get them up. 1 second. A few good ones. There was one question for Shay, and it was just for Shay, specifically for Shay, and it was, is it true Shay did Shay literally find her husband on stage last Saturday? It's just a question. I mean,
I fell in love.
she did.
I fell in love. Absolutely. It was the second he did the splits. My God, this guy just literally whips out the splits and the pose down.
You
No,
fell
I
in
was-
love well before that. Don't you talk shit. It was like the nail.
I was infatuated. This guy had the most. He was turned pro in the classic portion of the show. The legs on him, like the legs and the butt on him, were just something I'd never seen in my life. So yeah, I found my husband, but turns out he was not single as well. So hey,
Turns out he didn't
Wasn't he?
find you.
hey,
He didn't find you. Was that what happened?
well, like turns out he just wasn't really a one-man band, so kind of had to cut my losses early.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do.
He was freaky. It was
He
amazing.
was freaky as fuck. His lower body was insane. Like insane. Anyway, so this is cool. Someone asked us. The Olympia is coming up, and we're gonna give our top 6 so you can get closest. Just off the top of our heads. I haven't thought about it.
I haven't thought that. I haven't thought all the way down to 6.
Well, you're gonna have to.
We go over 4.
Not that hard, bro. There's like, it's pretty like clear. I think the top 6. I think it is. I think it's clear as fuck. Do you want me to go
It's
first?
just the order, though, isn't it?
Who we
Yeah.
think is going to win it? Who we think is going to win it?
Derek.
I keep changing my mind.
I'm going with that. I'd agree there. Like
Yeah.
there's
Andrew
no one
Jack.
that pops up in my mind.
So at the last year's Olympia, I said next year, just because of the way he was improving, I said Samson's going to be the Mr. Olympia. But I think Derek.
He's insane.
I think Andrew Jack is going to win.
That's not going to happen.
Dark horse, mate. Dark horse.
I mean, he's my favorite.
He's not even
but
a dark horse, bro. He's a monster. I think he's going to win because he's the most aesthetic.
do you
If I was
actually
a
think he's
judge,
gonna win?
if I was in charge, he'd be Mr.
But you're
Olympia.
not judging. So who do you
Nah.
think will win? I'll do my top
You know,
6.
who I honestly think is going to win?
Who?
Hardy.
Yeah, it's hard to look past the May.
And I think because we all look at Derek, we see the photos, they look amazing. We look at Samson, this and that. But I don't know, did you see, there was photos I saw just the other day, but they were from 8 weeks out. And I'm like, 8 weeks out, he's harder than last year. He's so jacked. I think it's going to be hard. And I think that he's quite vulnerable from the listen to us. He's quite comparatively vulnerable from the back than from the front. So that's why we give Derek so many props, but man, from the front, you know what I mean?
Who you got second?
Probably Samson.
Dude.
Yeah.
I honestly think Andrew Jack is going to be right up there. I'm going to put him third just because.
Andrew. Okay.
Yep, just because I'm going to.
Yeah.
And then Derek,
Fourth,
and
yeah.
then Nick,
Yeah.
Walker, and then I don't know. That's 5, isn't it?
You got one more.
What about Brandon Curry?
Yeah, Brandon. Put Brandon there. Yeah, Brandon.
He's looking real good. He's looking real good.
Yeah, he's looking really good. I think. I mean, he looks amazing. I don't know about standing. I just didn't think he just didn't look that strong in the lineup. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although I think he looks.
Like,
It's funny because I did see
right.
some photos and he looks better this year than he did, significantly better than last year. It's hard to say, but yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Demba, go on.
Derek, I still reckon Derek. I don't know. This is just. I feel like with Samson, hey, amazing, beautiful physique, but I feel like he's put so much new tissue on that it just needs time to mature.
Doesn't
like
have
Derek
lines,
last
bro.
year. Was that?
It
Yeah,
doesn't have
exactly.
that, like, crispiness.
Whereas if you look at Derek this year, all that new tissue he's put on, it's just gotten grainy and like striated and hard. Whereas Samson's it's still too new. I feel like in either next year or the year after, he's just gonna dominate like mad, or it's gonna go downhill. I don't know. Either one of the ways.
Then who's second for you?
Hardy.
Yeah.
Third and fourth.
I'm writing all this down.
What?
I'm writing all this down, by the way. So they went
fourth. I'd say between.
Nah, you can't say between. You got to pick. You got to fucking put pen to paper.
Samson.
Yeah. That's where it gets harder.
I'm gonna go Nick.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, he's a cool dude, bro, and I love watching him train, and yeah, and what he's done for his physique in the last couple of years, because everyone gives him shit about being like blocky, but at that level to be able to change your physique and your shape and bring in your waist is amazing to see. It's not something that's very easy to do, and he is changing his shape, definitely. Like, I mean, there are obviously limitations to it, but what he's done, man, respect to that. So I hope he does well. So I'll put him up there just to, root for him.
Well, you got 2 more now.
Well, I got 2 more. Shit. Ugh. Oh, we'll put Andrew there.
Andrew in 5th?
Yep.
Okay.
And put Brandon.
Okay.
Because there's only top 3 qualifying now, right? Not top 5 for the next year.
I don't know. Is
They've
it?
changed it. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go Derek. I'm going to go Hardy. I'm going to go Samson. I'm going to go... Fuck it. I'm going to go Brandon. I reckon Brandon's going to be... It's hard because every year he posts these photos and you're like, oh, shit, he's back. And then you're like, oh.
It's always the legs, bro. I feel like it's always the lower body that lets him.
And then I'm going to go Nick. Yeah, I'm going to go Nick. And then I'm going to go Andrew. But although Andrew's my favorite, I don't think I don't think he'll be able to beat those guys. That's my top 6. But honestly, like, I think the top 3 is the top 3. I think Derek, Hardy, and Samson are 100% the top 3. But I that order could be anything. Like, that order could go either way. Like, either.
I think it's going to be Andrew Jack.
If it was like a front.
He's looking good, man. Look side him. Oh, he's looking good. He's looking so good. I
I
really
know
should have put him in first, but I'm not going to.
He's my favorite as well, but he's just competitively. Shay, what do you reckon? Who you got?
My expert opinion on men's bodybuilding. I think Derek's gonna win.
Give me your top 3.
Okay, Derek, Nick, and Hardy.
Yeah, Nick in second. I like it.
Nick in second. I think he looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
He
brings that freak factor.
I love Samson, but he just seems like, I don't know.
Too new.
I don't know, just when you put him.
But he's so short.
Yeah, well, there's nothing being short, Harry. All right.
I don't know. You're the one that. Anyway,
I think it's fucking fantastic if you're short and awesome.
Yeah, I think he's yeah. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be good. I like it when it's cool like now the Olympia because no one like there's no, like previously it was like oh Phil. It's like Phil. If you just know if you pick Phil, you're probably gonna win the bet. Whereas it fucking cool either way. But now that you've said Hardy, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I can't see the guy losing, eh? Hardy's crazy. That photo.
He looks
I don't
nuts.
know if there was a year for him to lose it, man, it would be this year. Last year was pretty clear that it was his.
Clear though. You reckon it was clear? Derek pushed him.
Yeah, he pushed him, but there's just too much just maturity to his muscle. Just that hard, dense look. Derek just didn't have that.
But Derek pushed him enough. He pushed him enough to like know that he can do it this year. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. As in, like, we all knew, like, if he progressed how he did last year, this year, shit, he was taking the title.
Yeah, I mean, I think too. Derek last year was like almost a last minute decision to do the opens, right? So this year his legs are like crazy. So
I don't know what plan he's on or what he is.
Yeah, but I want to read it.
I know. I want like half of that.
It's crazy. It's crazy that they have the same coach as well, Hardy and Derek.
Yeah.
Coach. It must be weird. You know what I mean? Because it's really for them because they'll like they're competitive. They'll be like they'll want to take each other's heads off, but they probably have to act like they don't. You know what I mean? Like when they talk to their coach, they're like, "I want to fucking beat him."
Yeah.
Can't say that. I don't even know if Hardy speaks English.
He does. He's always got a translator, doesn't he?
I think so. It was I'm pretty sure he does. But it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting. Anyway, guys, it was good catching up. Is anyone anything to throw out before we wrap this up? I think it's been like an hour.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it has been, yeah. I'd just like to say that I really enjoyed going back to New Zealand and being in the Nationals. It was great to meet you guys in the flesh. It's really, really nice. I got to have some good chats with Denver, and I got to see Shay's grumpy face. I tell you this, Jordan, she was sitting down like with a really grumpy head on. Like I took a picture and I sent it to her. I'm like, why so angry, bro? What are you angry about? Anyway, but that was good. That was great. And then I got to meet a lot of people that listen to the podcast, and it was interesting having people come up and talk to me like, hey, Harry this, Harry that. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out. Then I'm like, oh, that's right. We don't know each other, but okay, let's have a conversation. So it was really I really had a lot of fun. I thought the show was run really well. And it was nice to just it was nice to connect with a bunch of people that I talked to online, and then also to meet new people, and it was good to catch up with you, Jordan, after many years, and enjoy some meals and a bunch of laughs. It was great.
Sure, it was great.
That's it.
Before I wrap up, I heard a funny little story. So Shay, Shay came. I trained on. We didn't train together, but what day was it? Monday. Yeah, so I wanted to come in because I wanted to see her in person and see how she was looking and whatnot. So she trained legs, I trained chest. I had like the best session I've had in like, oh my God, it was like the best session. Like I was so pumped. I felt so strong. It was like my first day properly back. I spent like so much time writing out this program. It was like the perfect program. Fucking everything was right. Session went amazing, went perfect, felt great. Holy fuck, the next day I felt like being hit by a bus, eh? Like I was wrecked. So I was basically had to throw the program in the bin and cut everything back because yeah, I would have buried myself in a deep hole if I didn't. But it's crazy like how fuck, it's funny, like you go on those expectations of like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill it, and then sometimes you just get a reality check like, slow down, motherfucker.
It was a pretty bloody gnarly session.
It was
on the
gnarly.
outside.
That was the problem. So was yours.
Mm.
It was funny because I showed Denver the program, and I texted him yesterday. I was like, "Bro, I think I'm gonna go to a 4-day split because I'm fucked today." And he was like, "I knew this would happen." He said, "But I just couldn't tell you because like you wouldn't have listened." Yeah, you're right.
You've just got to do it, and you've got to learn for yourself.
Yeah. Just felt so good. Everything just felt crazy. It's like I'm picking up weights of it. Like, oh, it was just nuts. Nothing felt.
Some stage I'll come over. We can do a workout. You can have a nice, soft old man workout.
Shut up.
I don't think they've got dumbbells big enough for you, bro.
They will. They will.
Just
They'll have
stay
them
there.
somewhere.
Just stay there.
Hard.
No, yeah, I'm hoping to come over again at some stage early in the year, and we can do some sessions when everybody's eating and everyone's happy.
Oh yes,
Man.
looking forward to it, man.
Here
Sounds
for it.
Speaking of eating, keep an eye out because me and Denver have
Right,
something on the way. We got something on the way.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Denver wants to stay at 122.
Good luck.
No, mate. No way.
We won't give too much away, but it's gonna be
Fuck.
it's gonna be a good time.
I feel like it's not a fair battle, but all right.
It's locked
Yeah.
in, so don't bro, nothing about you fucking 122 lean, no. Fuck, I'm little, I'm frail.
Yeah, but your appetite, yeah.
It's all good. It's
I'm
all
on the
good.
opposite end.
We're doing it for the people.
Struggling to get shit down.
We're doing it for the people, but we'll talk
All right.
about this. We'll talk more about this soon. It's not for 2 weeks. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure as always. It's been great talking, catching up again. I actually forgot we're recording for most of this. But yeah, anyway, we shall talk again soon. And if everyone watching, if you've made it to the end, thank you. Please like, please subscribe, do all that shit. It helps. We've got like 550 people on the page, but we've only got like 150 subscribers. So please just press the button. It's easy. Just press the button. It helps. But anyway, guys, peace.
Real life, real talk, never fall. We ain't doing that. Want me fall off, but I can't. I'm just too attached. I was so lost.